In this video, we're going to be exploring how do you stop taking things personally. It is so easy when people give us feedback, when people make comments, for us to feel personally wounded. It's almost like the interaction, which is just an exchange of words, can sit with us for hours, days, sometimes weeks afterwards. So I want to give you a little bit of context of what may be happening and some practical tools to help you to feel different. So there's 3 different scenarios here of what may be happening. The first scenario is actually you're not taking it personally. Maybe you are being personally attacked. Sometimes what happens is people make barbed comments, they say words that actually are intended to have an impact, and we respond in a way that demonstrates that we feel hurt, like we feel wounded. And then we get gaslit. The response we get from the other person is, oh, you're just being really sensitive, or that wasn't what I meant. So sometimes what's happening is it's not that we're taking things personally, it's that things are aimed in a way to trigger a reaction. Now, if that's what's happening, actually how you feel is like a reaction saying this isn't okay. And actually what's needed is a boundary. That may be a boundary in words where you say to the other person, please don't speak to me in that way. I find it hurtful when you speak that way. And if that doesn't get received in the way that we need, it may be that we have a proximity boundary, that we spend less time around this person whilst they're treating us in that way. If you're enjoying this video and you want to see more videos like this, do subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, be notified as new videos are released. We're going to keep building on the ideas in this video, and that means that you can stay in the loop. Now, the second thing that could be happening is that it's not the comment or the words that are spoken are not intended in any way to hurt or wound us. What's happening is the critical voice inside of our own mind, what we call the inner critic, is taking the other person's words and it's weaponizing them against us. So let's say, for example, that a colleague at work makes a comment about a piece of work that we've done, and maybe they're genuinely meaning it in a constructive, helpful way. And then after that interaction, our inner critic takes what they said and it starts saying things to us like, you're completely incompetent, everyone thinks you're useless. The thing is, it's not just that inner critic's doing it about this comment or this moment. It's that that's what our inner critic does. It's constantly attacking us, beating us up, and putting us down. So other people can be genuinely well-intentioned, and it hijacks those words and it weaponizes them against us. So in this scenario, well, what do we do to stop taking it so personally? It's not about having a boundary with the other person. It's about having a boundary with our inner critic. We've got to learn to break that pattern. One of the ways we do that is by learning to say no, learning to say stop, sometimes being a little bit more spicy in our language, telling our inner critic to F off, to leave us alone. That we're retraining, we're reconditioning that part of our mind. Now, the third scenario of what may be happening is that we've got used to focusing on the negative. Our mind gets conditioned by whatever we do as our habits and as our consistent practice. And so if we're used to going out into the world and having like a confirmation bias where we're looking for the evidence that we're not capable, we're not competent, that people are not interested in us, people don't like us, we'll go and look for and we'll find that evidence. It's like we could have 10 compliments in a day and 1 criticism, and all we focus on is the 1 criticism. So we have to train our brain to really see the information, the comments, the feedback that's out there in our life in an objective way, and how we feel about all of that is based on facts and truth, not based on an old pattern where we're looking for the negative. So if you find yourself taking things personally, I invite you to reflect. Is it because actually other people are being unkind and ungenerous? They need a boundary. Is it that your inner critic is taking what's happening and it's weaponizing that against you? Or is it that you've got used to constantly looking for the negative rather than seeing the positive? The single most important relationship in our life is the relationship we're in with ourselves. Learning to cultivate a kind, loving, supportive, encouraging inner world, inner landscape can truly transform not just how we feel, but all the other relationships in our lives. If you want to learn more about how to do that, do check out my most recent book, It's Not Your Fault: Why Childhood Trauma Shapes You and How to Break Free. In that book, I explore the impact of childhood trauma on our relationship with ourselves, our relationships with other people, our relationships with the world. And I give you some practical tools and strategies to create change. And let me know in the comments below this video, which of these 3 patterns do you resonate with? Let me know what's helped you break free of those patterns. And I hope this video has been helpful. I look forward to talking with you in the next video very soon.